Okay, now let me just search around here. Now we go to what we sometimes call the yes-no round. This tests out our pretend politicians' ability not to answer a question. And if anybody here uses the word yes or no in answer to a question, they will hear this noise and be disqualified from the round as we move on. Are you happy playing this, Graeme?
Absolutely.
Good. Prescription charges. Why have they gone up?
They've gone up principally because from now onwards they're going to cost more money.
Mm-hmm. Do you think this is a good idea?
Well, there are 2 points of view on this, and mine is one of them.
When the other party brought it in, you said it was a tax on the sick. Do you think it's a tax on the sick now?
It was a tax on the sick then, and it is a tax on the sick no longer.
No longer? That was a no there. Oh,
very hard.
A very astute bit of buzzing there. Fred, do you think enough tickets have been allocated to England and English and Scottish fans for the World Cup?
Certainly not enough to the Scottish fans for the World Cup, Clive.
How many should the Scottish fans be given?
Out of 100,000, I would have thought 98,000.
Have you got a ticket?
I have not yet got a ticket.
Do you think England are going to win?
That, Clive, is something that I have no opinion on.
Oh, you've gone already. So, legal aid, Jeremy. Are you happy for it to be replaced with a no-win, no-fee?
Well, legal aid is clearly a lot more harmless than alco-pops. As long as children are drinking legal aid, we're
Should... Did you really think it was right to crack these such an old joke? I'm so shocked.
Right. It's a traditional joke, and it's a joke that people have been making for hundreds of years.
Yes. Are you in favour of lawyers being paid?
This is really not the forum for me to answer a question like that. Well, clearly, telling the public is clearly not the right audience.
Yeah.
I speak to myself a lot, and really that's right.
Aren't you in favour of open government?
Open up to a point. Open up to a point. I have a very, very large house.
Yeah. Do you think that Rupert Murdoch was right to cancel Chris Patton's memoirs?
Rupert Murdoch has a very difficult job to do.
Do you think it's right for people to own so many papers and television stations?
It depends on the person.
Is he the right person?
That's really not for me to say.
Well, yes, it is. You're being asked.
Well, it's still not for me to say.
Yeah. Do you think that Louise Woodward received a fair trial?
That's not for me to say either.
Are you going to answer it's not for me to say to any question I ask you?
Well, I could, couldn't I?
Apparently. Does Rebecca have your support in your party?
She has my full and confident support, and I shall be receiving her resignation in the morning.
Have you seen the film The Full Monty?
I've not had that pleasure.
Did you ever go see the film?
Rarely. I'm very busy, obviously, with Commons motions.
What are Commons motions?
It's not for me to say.
Jeremy, are you in favour of students paying tuition fees?
Clearly, one has to choose the best of all possible worlds, and that's why we're choosing our option, which will be the best, which will become apparent in the fullness of time.
Is that tuition fees?
It may or may not be tuition fees as such. We may change the name of it. We may call it coughing up money to the government allowance.
Were you a student?
Yes, it was.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I think Rebecca has definitely won that by constantly saying it's not for her to answer. A brilliant tactic, if I may say so.